Well, I have AT&T, didn't have any problems. Maybe it happened while I was sleeping, but I actually slept past my alarm this morning because it was cold outside. I didn't want to get out of bed.
Well, I was up bright and early at the gym, Matt. I don't know. We're not going to. But for Matt, my question is, would you rather just go without your phone or what would you do in that situation?
I don't know. I'd feel kind of stranded. What if you need to get in contact with somebody,
Yeah, or try to get like maps somewhere if you didn't know where you were going. I've heard that a couple times today.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, there's just so much we do. We do so much with our phones these days that the outages are not the most convenient thing in the world, that's for sure. Let's go talk about it. So, Adrian, you said you were up early this morning at the gym. 34 is where we started off this morning, so it was very chilly. And for the afternoon at 67, that can be misleading because 67 sounds just fine, right? With the wind blowing, it definitely was not. That wind would cut right through everything this afternoon. Out there right now, we are cooling off fairly quickly from 67 now down to 44 in Waco here in the 10 o'clock hour. So things are going to fall quickly. Winds are starting to calm a little bit. And of course, that northerly airflow is that drier airflow. So because of that, expect another chilly start to your morning. I think most of us are going to probably drop below freezing out there as we start off our Thursday. In terms of winds, like I said, from 40 miles an hour this afternoon now down to about 5 or 6 miles per hour. There are some of those peak gusts we were talking about earlier, again, up to 40 miles per hour in some spots. Again, we won't have that again this week, but I do suspect we will be dealing with another windy situation, just not for tomorrow. Take a look at your forecast for the rest of the night into tomorrow. You can see things calming down here over the next several hours, 10, 15 miles per hour in terms of max gusts. By the time we get to tomorrow morning, nearly nothing. And that's going to be very good news for us because it's going to be right at or below freezing in several locations. So as long as we keep the winds down, we don't have to deal with those dramatically colder wind chill values. For the afternoon and evening, maybe a little bit of wind here or there, 10, 15 mile an hour gusts. That's about it. That's all I'm expecting for tomorrow afternoon. So not nearly as windy as it was today. So here are some of those numbers for tomorrow morning. Like I said, I think most of us are going to be at or below freezing as we start off our Thursday. So again, thank goodness we're not dealing with too much of a wind chill value because again, it would be feeling like it's in the teens if we were dealing with what we were dealing with today. For the afternoon, again, with the cold front that came through today, obviously we're going to be a little bit cooler tomorrow than we were today. We're talking lower to middle 60s in most locations for your Thursday. So expect that, calm conditions. I think overall, in terms of what it's going to feel like as you step outside, I think it's going to be pretty similar to what it was today because we don't have the wind in the forecast for tomorrow. Now, in these situations, we typically have these little patterns where we cool down behind a front and then we warm right back up. And that's how we got into the 80s last week. But here's the deal. We have another front scheduled to come through, and that's going to knock us back down again for the weekend. That's what's going to keep it feeling winter-like across central Texas. Take a look here, though, as that front comes through on Friday afternoon. You're going to feel it again. We're talking 25, 30 mile an hour wind gusts. Not as bad as it was today and won't be as long as it was today. I think this front comes through in the afternoon. Those winds stay elevated for a few hours, and then we'll get a little bit of a reinforcing blast there on Saturday. So because of that, again, we're going to be talking about wind again for your Friday, but again, we're also talking about keeping things seasonal because of that front. So 65, I think we're able to hit the mid-60s before the front comes through. Behind the front, winds pick up Friday afternoon. You wake up Saturday morning, it's in the 30s again, only in the 50s for your Saturday afternoon. So I think this weekend, probably going to be very similar to last weekend. Mid-upper 50s on Saturday, lower 60s there on Sunday. And again, those morning lows very chilly as you wake up each morning of the weekend. And then as we head into next week, again, that pattern kind of continues. 60s give way to 50s, and then we warm up a little bit heading into Wednesday. And remember, if you want to keep up with all this, you can download our 6 Plus app. It's free, and you can stream your forecast 24/7.